So this is actually my keylogger here. So first and foremost, we're using MSF Venom to actually create a reverse TCP connection to a given exploitable machine. So in this case, we're using the local host, and to determine that, we get that from the INET address found right here. Then once we have that local host address, we just want to give it some port number. In our case, we're giving it 4444. And then we're setting it to be in root, and we're just going to name it virus.exe. And then for our next step, what we're actually going to be doing is we want to encrypt it. So at this point, I've moved it to a different directory. I've moved it to home Cali, and we're just going to zip it, give it a password 1234, and we're going to name it notavirus.zip and virus.exe. The purpose of this at this point is to actually make sure that it's not detectable if we're sending it over email or if we're going to give somebody a Google Drives link or anything like that. So at this point, what we're actually doing is we're going to want to open up Metasploit using the MSF console. So once we're actually at Metasploit, we're just going to use the typical multi-handler to actually give us the ability to set a payload for our reverse TCP shell. So what we're actually going to be doing here is setting that, so we can see right here. Again, we're setting the L host to the same as we set it before, and the same local port, 4444. At this point, we're ready to exploit, so we start the exploit, and it's actually listening for the handler from this Windows machine. So the Windows machine, how we set this up is basically what I did is I sent out an email to just a random email that I used here. So essentially acted as a user, clicked on the email sent me this right here that was zipped. I can see it just clicked. So at this point, what we're actually doing is it's running, it's all set up, it's ready to go. The person clicks on this, it executes, and then we can see if we go back to our Kali Linux machine, we are actually ready to start. So it gets that connection. Once the connection's actually gone, we're ready to actually list our processes that are occurring on this Windows machine. So we can see a couple interesting ones, but notably for us, we actually want to get to the Windows login page. So when somebody logs into their Windows account, we can actually steal credentials, and since we have this shell, we can build up either just over time, or we can log in as a user, create our own identity, or if this is an administrative account, give ourselves administrative permissions on a different account to later exploit this machine again. So in this case, we're going to have 504 as our PID, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to migrate that. So if we scroll down a bit past all these other processes, we'll get to migration to 504, and then we're going to do a key scan start and a key scan dump. In this case, we saw a username of Ronnie6896 and a password of test123.